everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Grue Room. And today for The Grue Room, we got a very special guest. She played Blake on the hit soap series that was out a few years ago, Guiding Light. And she's in the room now, and all you do is hit the request to go live, and as soon as you hit that, there we go. Just waiting for the internet to work with us, and we'll be good. Okay, here we go. There we go.
Am I there?
Yeah. Let me push that volume
Wait, I'm
up.
not
There.
seeing anything. I'm not seeing you.
Oh no.
Oh, there
Okay.
you are.
Nothing
There you are. You're there. Hello.
Hello. How's it
Hi.
going?
Hey, it's almost spring. I'm very happy. Yeah, I like there was a threat of snow in my area, and I had a I don't know. I think I would have exploded if that happened. So thank God the sun's out. How are you?
Good. Good. I'm doing good. I live in Philly, so no
You know
snow
what
here either.
you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to talk to you. I was telling you, me and my mom was always watched the show Guiding Light, and like you know, I was in school, she was working, but we always found like that 1 hour to like bond and watch the show for years and years. Like I got hooked on it when I was a kid until the very end of the show, and like we love all the characters, Blake and Reva, and it
Wow.
was,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so happy. Yeah. I remember the show was on forever. What time was it on for you? Was it at 2 o'clock?
Three,
It was at
three was
3?
lunch. Yeah.
I still have at like with like memory like 2 or 3 o'clock would come around in the afternoon, and I have this voodoo, ghost. Like, isn't it supposed to come on now? Right. Yeah. Well, I'm so happy that you had that opportunity to bond with your mom. I mean, that's what I love about this show, that
Yeah.
it was a generational experience.
Oh no, definitely, yeah. And I wanted to add, when you were playing Blake, like, could you have put your own spin on Blake, or was it just what they wrote for you in the script?
Oh, that's a really good question. Because it's both. It ended up being very much a co-creation of Blake, although in the beginning it was very much exactly what they wrote, and they were trying to keep Blake exactly as Sherry played, which was brilliantly. Although Blake was changing and
Hmm.
emotionally changing, because what started out obviously with Ross as a vengeance, turned into whoa, real love. What's up with that? So, I mean, it was a good point for me to take over because Blake was going to move into another direction. But definitely, it was, well, I would show up with other qualities just because, and then the writers would go, hey, that's kind of good. We should use that. So we would work off of each other. So
Wow,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
okay. And all the soap fans who love the show, they love Blake and Ross. Like, how was it like sharing scenes with and working with the actor that plays Ross?
Well, it's my favorite subject ever because it was heaven. It was
Oh,
absolute heaven. I mean, what's not to love, please? Such a generous, wonderful man, Jerry Verdorn. We were very good friends, and our families were very close as well. So it was one of those once in a lifetime, no way is this right. It's like, not only did we work really well together, we really liked each other. We really wanted to be working together. And, that's not always the case. So, I
that's
think
true.
as well. But so much fun. I learned so much from him. Um, and I love that we were able to incorporate all the different parts of ourselves, you know,
Hmm.
comedic parts, the vulnerable parts, and the really powerful, angry, vindictive parts. And I loved that each one of them could go all over the place. And I mean, when Ross turned south and when he closed his heart, that
Yeah,
was
yeah, I
scary.
remember
When he
that.
got stone
That
cold, that was like the set was like this refrigerator. So and you never wanted to see that part, but when it was coming, I was like, oh, I gotta prep myself for this, you know, because nobody he has the ability of being so warm. So you're like,
Mhm.
no, don't go there. Yeah.
And it wasn't like if I remember right, Ross was with Holly first, right?
Oh yeah.
Before he was with Blake.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And which was you know, there was that was an undercurrent for many of the little mini storylines that were off of that. There was always that, oh, was he supposed to have been with her instead? And
Hmm.
and I think Holly and Blake both had to come to terms with that, because Holly as well had to like, wait a second, she had to allow the fact that maybe he's supposed to be with her, and
Yeah.
that was giving up a lot of ego there, you know. But yeah, can you imagine stealing your mother's fiance?
I know,
And
right?
but
Exactly.
originally it was to get back at she was blaming Holly for breaking up um, Alan Michael.
Hmm.
So there's all
Hmm.
this history. It's just all vengeance.
Exactly. And like, I love the scenes you did with her, Holly, and like her playing your mom. Like it was so much fun. Like I mean, at first it was rocky, but then the relationship kind of got better. Then.
Oh, that what a juicy story to play. And Maureen Garrett, I mean, what a genius. I mean, I was surrounded by the best of the best. I just loved playing with her because we had so much fun loving and hating each other at the same time. But what was underneath it always was I wanted to love her. I did love her, but she was impossible, and I didn't feel like she loved me. And I there was they wrote that so beautifully.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and she was so generous. You know, she's a really generous actor, and she listens, and she's so present. So she was a lot of fun to work with. I mean, it was fun to have those fights. And I think that's part of it too. When you really trust somebody and you really um, um, love them, you know,
Mhm.
it's easier to have the fights, because
That's true.
it's like, oh, we can just go for it, and there's no like, I don't want to offend you. I don't. It's all out play.
And one of the best villains on the show was Blake's father.
Michael Zaslin.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
wow!
yeah.
Like what? He was like a great actor. Like what scene did you like best doing with him? Like the Blake and Rod Roger scenes. Like which one did you like best?
Wow. Yeah, he was such a joy to work with. He was, in fact, we're having a little interview later on today with the
Nice.
women in Roger's life, at the locker room. I think it's at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Um, I loved playing his daughter because I had this special benefit of um, he had a natural warmth and protectiveness that
Hmm.
he couldn't help but have with me, even though, I mean, he was so tortured when he had to, like, for instance, that scene where he had to slap me. There was a scene where he had to slap me. That was really difficult for him. And I think, but he, but it made it so rich because it was so difficult for him.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed those scenes that had a lot of layers to them because he did that so well. And even being a villain, he did it. He had a heart in there, and nobody could touch him. Nobody could touch him. So, and I was quite intimidated by him. He was just bigger than life.
Wow, wow. And Blake was involved in so many great storylines. I know you played her for a long time, but is there any storyline that you like the most for Blake?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many.
I know exactly.
You know, when the storyline I entered into was just genius. When you just didn't know if Blake was sided, it was still with Roger or with Ross. Like, I loved that in the very beginning, that the four of us, Roger, Holly, Blake, Ross, there was just so many wonderful scenes. But I think the one that really I had a lot of fun with was the twins by two
Oh
dogs.
my God. Yeah.
Because that brought in Michael, Rick, my Rick. And that was a lot of fun. It was fun to watch Michael and Jerry play together as well. Like, it was insane that we tackled this real life scenario. I mean, I think they got the idea because it really did happen. And like, oh gosh, we should have this. This should happen to Blake. You know, that's what I love about Blake. Because any of these wild things, it's like, oh, give it to Blake. That would happen to Blake. You know, I didn't have to play a normal, noble, contained person that had boundaries and values and a set of rules to live by. Blake could just be anything. I mean, can't get asked for anything better. But yeah, that twin storyline was pretty wonderful.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. It was.
Yeah.
And I wanted to one of the characters that my mom loved so much was Reva. How was it like working with Kim?
Again, another genius. She's so great. I mean, her energy is so great, and she's game for anything. And she's out there, and you know, she had a huge part with a lot of responsibility and you know, a lot of airtime, a lot of. But she was such a team player, and she really loved being out there. She was very, very generous as well. I mean, you're gonna hear me say this about all these, especially all the best actors, incredibly generous people. There was no ego in terms of, like, nobody could be a diva. Like, you would just like be sorry, you're not gonna make it. Like, give it a shot. Give it your best shot, but you will be expelled from this cast. You just won't survive, you know? Because we loved working with each other. But yeah, her energy's great too. And there was one period of time, no longer, because we both have moved, but we both lived literally across the street from each other.
Oh my God, really?
And it was like weird soap opera within a soap opera. Yeah, and at the time, Michael O'Leary lived around the corner, and then Justin Dees lived up the street. Like, the four of us were all in the same neighborhood, and it was just like,
Wow.
let's bring the cameras over here. Yeah, that was a great period of time.
Nice.
A long time ago. But,
nice.
Yeah.
What did you like most about playing Blake?
Oh, the freedom to be all the different parts of her. I mean, I think that I could go everywhere. There wasn't a corner of my psyche that I couldn't visit that was not Blake.
Yeah.
I love that. I really do. Um, I love the heart. The heart. I mean, I love that Blake grew up and emotionally really started to grow up, even though she never really quite believed in herself. But I love that. I love that I had the opportunity to play that whole history and have kids and then be on the other side of that. I mean, I wish that we could have um, experimented and explored that more. That would have been a great future for Blake to be a
Yeah.
parent of her own adult children that are, wouldn't that be interesting to
Oh
have
no, yeah.
a child like Blake and one child like Ross and like have to live with
That's true. You're right about that. Why do you think? Why do you think the fans loved Blake so much?
Oh, good question. Um, I think they always pulled for Blake because Blake really wanted to like she kept almost getting everything and then
That's
screwing
true.
it up. So she was so human when it came to that. Um, Nobody wants to be, to have people be perfect because that's boring and you just can't relate to them. I mean, I think Blake was a little more relatable
Yeah.
at times because she just kept screwing up and it just maybe it comforts people. I don't know, but I think the Ross and Blake, everybody pulled for that because that was such a beautiful. There's so much honesty there, and that aligned with. Oh, it's almost like, oh yeah, like have a resolution to something. Somebody finds some happiness.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm kind of hoping that's what it is. I just kept
Okay.
going. I just kept. Thank you for bringing me more storyline. I just keep going. I don't know. What do you think? What was your favorite? Why did you and your mom? Why did your mom like Blake? That's what I'm curious.
You know, I have to ask her that question. I mean, she loved the show so much, but she really loved the storyline with Blake and Ross. Like that was like she loved seeing them.
Yeah,
That's why
people felt good when they were together.
she was crushed when Blake cheated on Ross.
Oh, oh, oh. Man, this is like not very smart move. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because everybody loves Ross. It's like don't. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. So, were you shocked? Like, I mean, because I know, like me and like the fans, like, were you shocked when they finally decided to end the show?
Oh, yes. Not only did we get the news on April 1st, which was a very bad, poorly executed, because nobody believed,
Mm.
you really had to sit down and know this is not an April Fool's. So there was that level of absurdity. But yeah, I mean, we'd certainly seen signs of it getting having a smaller and smaller venue.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I didn't expect it to happen like that, and that was unfortunate. I really loved my family there, so I did not want it to go at all. It's been
Oh,
a huge part of
the fans didn't either.
my. Mhm. Yeah, I wish it would. I wish it just would reappear somewhere.
Right, exactly. That's what I was saying. Like, I would love for them to like. I mean, even if they don't want to do like a full television series anymore, like just make like one film and just to see like where all the characters are at now.
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Oh my God, it would be amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to see where Blake is now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
How
right.
did Blake handle the pandemic? Oh my God.
You're right.
Oh,
That's true.
wow. Where is your mom now? Where is your mom?
Philly,
She's in Philly.
same as me. She's in Philly too. Yeah.
Is she watching right now?
I mean, I don't know. She might. No, I mean,
I'm off.
I don't see her name in here, but.
Well, tell her hello for me.
Yeah, I definitely will. I definitely will. Um, Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you one thing because like my site deals a lot with like horror films, and early in your career, I see you were in a TV series about Freddy Krueger
Freddy's
and
Nightmares. Oh yeah,
Freddy's Nightmares.
I was. I had. Yeah, that was a series for a while. And
It
it
was.
aired late at night.
It did,
And I
yes.
did like I don't know, it was like a 2 or 3-parter or something. And I played this, a writer. I was a novelist that whatever I was writing, I was doing in real life. So I was writing this novel about slowly poisoning my husband. And I was actually doing it in real life as well. So they had, I'm trying to remember these scenes, but I remember the scenes of writing the, hey, this was like a pre-Blake thing, right? This is like a Blake storyline. It just occurred to me. I kind of had that happen when I went off and became the romance novelist.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Gosh, this is so weird. Never put those two together. But yeah, that was a killer. I just remember slowly poisoning my husband and being a writer writing a book about it at the same time. And that's how they figured it out, or I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Now, I don't know if you watch horror movies, but what's your best horror film of all time, if you ever watched any?
oh, I don't know. All I can, at one point in my career before I went on to Guiding Light, I was on the other side of the camera where I worked as an assistant, like a PA or an AD,
Mhm.
an assistant director to Leprechaun. I was actually
Nice.
on the set of Leprechaun working behind the scenes, wrangling all the actors. So that's just me and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That was like
Yeah,
her
yeah,
very first role. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, but I can't say that was my favorite horror film. What's my favorite horror film? I'm horrified by horror films. I don't like the visuals. I'm always like hiding myself under a pillow. So I'm not. I guess Halloween was pretty scary. And what's the one about the babysitter? Um, the babysitter that gets attacked. What's that one? It's from the
That's
80s. Is
Halloween.
that Halloween?
Hmm.
I guess
Hmm.
that's the one I'm thinking. I'm scared of them.
Okay. And last question. I see you run your own podcast, and you're also a coach. Can you
Yeah.
tell me about that?
Well, yeah. This is the part of my personal development part of my life that I went from coaching actors to like just like coaching everyone. You just create any creative creators because I realized this is all applying to real life. But it's all about I help people with empowerment and self-belief, like transcending self-doubt
Mhm.
and discovering who they are underneath self-doubt and helping them to show up in every area of their life as that truest self. That's not, I'm the actor that tells you to stop acting in your relationships and in your own life, pretending to be something you're not in order to please people or be a perfectionist or whatever strategy you've designed in order to think that it's going to make you safe. I know all of this from acting, and then I did a lot of training in the coaching department. So I take clients one-on-one where I take them through a process of really helping them understand the roots of their self-doubt and how to move forward, even with resistance. Like, you don't have to get rid of it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's very creative. So it's just helping people I say take and be the lead of their life, you know? So they're not, you know, supporting character in their own life.
That's true. That's true.
No,
You're right.
you can be the lead character of your life. So yeah, it's very important to me. This part, I started mentoring people while I was actually on Gutting Light, and it really
Oh, wow.
moved into this whole other business that's incredibly important to me. So
Wow.
yeah, LizKeifer.com. I have a whole website on how I help people in their relationships in their life, and you know, yeah, showing up.
And is that where fans can find you at? And
Yeah, if
and
you go
book
LizKeifer.com,
you?
you fill out a contact form to get to me, and it's kind of yeah, I have a whole process. Yeah, absolutely, and I enjoy. I have several clients that came to me because they were fans, and they were afraid to come to me to work with me, and I'm like, no, I really, I'm, you know, if it's right. I mean, it's not right for everybody, so it has to be right. But it's okay. Like, yeah, I really enjoy it. So
Nice.
and
I know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, and then you know, follow me on Instagram. I'm the Liz Keifer. That is
Nice.
on Instagram, right?
I'm sure. I know you're pressed for time, so I'm just gonna ask like one last question, then I'm gonna end it. Like, is there any TV series you're binge watching, and what music do you like?
Oh boy. Uh, wow. Binge watching. What did I just finish? Well, um, what did I just finish watching? Oh, I know what I'm watching right now. It's the French one, Call Your Agent. And it's forcing me to actually sit down and watch it because I can't multitask while I'm doing it because it's in subtitles, but it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what I was watching prior to that because I go through my phases. And music, man, isn't this interesting? I'm coming up with all this foreign. Right now, I'm in this Italian. My daughter like has this. Started introducing all this Italian music. This really like these artists that are fabulous. For some reason, I'm just drawn to just putting this on and listening to these great Italian artists.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know, and it's out of nowhere. This is what the pandemic has done. Now I'm watching French TV. I'm listening to Italian music. I never would have done any of this had I not been forced to stay home. So there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Like, I really appreciate it. Like I said, like me and my mom we're big fans of Blake and the show. And
well, it's my privilege.
thank you.
Thank you for asking. And it was lovely to know you. And I'm so happy that you and your mom shared that. And please say hello to her for me.
I definitely will.
Okay.
All right. Have a good rest
All
of
right.
the day.
You stay warm in the sun. No snow.
I will. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye.